Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I last uploaded a video, so I thought I'd share this one with you. Hopefully I'll be uploading on a weekly basis now going forward, but I decided I'd share this one with you today to start things off. It's what I call an infected shrimp. So basically what it is, it's a pattern to represent a freshwater shrimp, Gammarus, that's become infected with a parasite, and it gives it kind of an natural orange hotspot. As I say, this is tied to try and represent that, but you can easily swap out that orange hotspot for pink, purple, something like that. I do tie these with a pink hotspot as well, and they work just as well. So material wise, I'll obviously talk through it as we're going along, but to start with, in the vise I've got a Fulling Mill Czech Nymph black, which is just those there. Fantastic hook, really enjoy using these. So for the weight, we're going to use a lead strip, which I've already pre-cut. I use a metal ruler and a blade just to cut this down, saves my scissors. So starting at the back, we're going to work our way up, slightly overlapping. We're going to stop just before we get to the eye. So that's my first layer. Now the second layer, and I'm going to come up one turn, and I'm going to finish a turn early, like so. If you wish, you can add a third layer. I tend to use just the two, just to keep the bulk on the fly down a little bit. So thread is Textreme 80 in black, and we're just going to catch that in behind the eye. And by taking my time with the thread, what I will do is I will actually smooth out some of those bumps that I've created in the lead wire, the lead sheeting rather, not lead wire. So I'll take my tying thread all the way to the back, and it just helps to secure the lead sheets, like so. And it just, like I say, it helps to smooth it out and obviously give that bit of a tapering. So I've got a little bit of a bump there. This stuff's quite soft, so you can usually push it down with your nails, so I'll just work on that area there. The first thing that I'm going to add to the fly is the rib. So the rib that I'm using is just a length of fluorocarbon, 0.22 millimeter of a diameter. And what I'll do before I tie it in, let's have a little run it between my teeth, and it just creates a flatter, more textured area to tie in. It prevents it pulling out. With this, I want it to kind of run at the bottom end of the hook. I don't want it on the top or the side. I want it to run down on the bottom. Just makes it easier when I come to rib the fly. Next is the shellback. So for this particular pattern, I'm using the shrimp foil, and this is brown. This is the 09 colour. So I've cut a small taper into it, so I'll use that to catch it in. Once I've caught that in, I can take a few more turns, and then I can start to stretch this out and secure it to the back of the end point. Now when you are tying shrimps, it's always important to remember that we're using kind of the full length of the hook. We don't want short, stubby shrimps, we want quite long patterns where we're using most of our hook. So for the body on this one, I like to use a Hare and Squirrel mix with some UV. As is the way, getting all stuck to my hands. Kind of less is more with this, so don't add too much. I'm going to dub it on. And although my lead is creating a bit of a taper, it's also nice to kind of get that taper with the dubbing as well. So we're going to start thin, and then as we move up, our dubbing noodle is going to become a little bit thicker. I'm going to stop with this first section when I come roughly in line with the point of the hook, like so. This is the section where I'm going to add my hotspot. So as I say, this is an infected shrimp, an orange hotspot shrimp. So obviously I'm going to use some orange. If you wish, like I say, pink, purple, green, anything works really. But believe it or not, this is actually tied to try and imitate the natural. So we don't add too much, just a little bit, and then we're going to come back in with a bit more Hare and Squirrel just to finish the fly off. And we want to kind of carry on with our taper so it becomes thinner as we come back down towards the eye. So I won't add too much in one go. I'll take my time, like so. And then what I'll do is I like to leave myself a few millimeters on before we get to the eye. Okay, so that's the dubbing part done. What we're going to do now is fold our shellback over. So I'll hold it over the top and I'll pinch that between my thumb and finger, and what I can do then with my scissors is I can remove the excess that we don't need. Give that a little pull. If we spin our thread counterclockwise, it'll just make that fur secure with a pinch and loop that little bit easier, he says. There we go. We'll take 2 turns just to secure that, and bring that back round. And what I'll do is I'll fold that back over and I'll take another turn in front before coming in and just putting a 2-turn whip just to secure everything in place. 1, 2. What that allows me to do now is I know that shellback isn't going to come undone. So I can now come in with my scissors, lift that, stretch it out a little bit and snip that away. So what's left to do now is just to rib the fly. So this is obviously where my fluorocarbon rib comes in. So this particular type blend of dubbing is pretty buggy, which is what we want. So at the moment it's not looking the best. Once we bring our rib through, I can then obviously sort that out. So with my rib, I'm going to take 1 turn at the back, trap that in, 2nd turn, and as I come up my turns are getting slightly more open. My 3rd turn is going to come just at the back of the hotspot, and then my next turn is going to try and run just past it. Have 1 more there, and then we'll secure that in with our time thread, like so. Make sure that rib is secure, and what I can do then is come in with my scissors and snip that away. And again, what I will do just to make sure that rib is secure and it's not going to go anywhere is I'll just put another 2-turn whip in there just to make sure that nothing can come undone. That was a 3-turn actually, but there we go. So all that's really left to do now with the fly is I'll draw all the fibres back out of the way of the eye, and I can start to create a neater head on the fly. So once you're happy with that, we can then come in with our whip finish tool and give it its final whip finish. So 1, 2, 3. What I like to do with these patterns is add a small amount of UV resin to the head. It obviously secures everything a little bit better, and it also kind of gives a slight better proportion and kind of makes the head look that little bit better. So this is Solaris UV, ultra thin. What I like about this is I can use the brush to apply this as well. So I'm only applying a small amount around the fly. What I'll do then is I'll come in my UV torch and we'll set that. So that is our fly complete. Now the only thing that's left to do is to obviously make this look a little bit more shrimp-like. So the first process, I'm going to invert the fly and I'm going to come in with my dubbing brush. And basically what I'm going to do is in between the ribs, I'm going to obviously pick out some of these fibres, like so. The reason why I do this with the dubbing brush, the dubbing needles first, it just allows me to pick out a few of the longer fibres, like so. Once I've done that, I'll then come in with my Velcro and I'll rough the underside up, and that'll just kind of get some of the thinner fibres out. Like so, we can see there we've got quite a lot of the orange coming through already. So I'll turn the fly back as it would be when I'll be fishing it, and I'll come in with my scissors, and what I want all of these fibres to to finish just at the hook point. I can come in round the back. I can neaten this up a little bit. I've got some tweezers somewhere. There they are. What this can allows me to do is just kind of come through and obviously remove any of these fibres that have kind of got caught up in the ribbon process. But as I say, this is a fishing pattern rather than a pattern to look at. And there we have it, the infected shrimp, which is basically remove that one, a orange hotspot shrimp. So hopefully you've enjoyed that first one back. Hopefully be the first of a few, and hopefully you guys will let me know how you get on with that, how it fishes for you more importantly, and stay tuned for some more videos, like I say, once a week from now on. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. All the best and tight lines.